A very important part of the Victoria and Albert Museum's mission is design, materials and making. It's part of a curator's responsibility to research the objects in the collection. In order to understand certain aspects of Balenciaga's work, we decided to invite people who had the expertise and the skills to become involved with the project. At the London College of Fashion, the MA students have a collaborative unit. By looking at these garments with them, we would be able to understand how Balenciaga produced these amazing shapes and these amazing garments. What we're asking you to do is to discover all the secrets of these garments. These are all works of art and they're museum objects. We want them to yield up all their secrets, but we also don't want to damage them.
One of the first features that the students picked up on was the asymmetry, that they weren't making a symmetrical commercial pattern.
This garment is made for a special client. This armhole is bigger than this one. Also, the left breast is smaller to fit this client specifically.
So a signature for Balenciaga is a silhouette which looks very simple on the outside but actually involves layers of cut. So something that appears to be loose will have a very fitted internal which actually supports the drape. When the students looked at the pieces, they realised that they had to sort of put aside their assumptions about how something should be made. And they were very surprised to see very irregular seam allowances, the way that certain pieces were finished, rough stitching, things like that just forced them to appreciate the making in a different way.
It's been really exciting to look at the garments created by Balenciaga with people who are makers, and it's revealed details that perhaps we wouldn't have noticed ourselves. Often they were following in his footsteps, so where draping was the process that he used, they were using draping on a stand and not cutting a flat pattern.
When you extracted the pattern from the garment, as a pattern cutter, it was quite unusual to be presented with a pattern which didn't look like it should work. And obviously we knew that it did because we'd seen the garment that it came from, and we then reproduced that garment again. Balenciaga didn't have the attitude that something couldn't be done. I think students liked the challenge of taking something that was couture and being able to interpret that using their digital pattern cutting and re-realise the pieces, but using some contemporary technology.
Through this process, we got to know what the kind of signature features of a Balenciaga design are. And in general, we discovered that he never takes the easy solution. He's always kind of striving to get the exact effects he wants.
One of the most enjoyable aspects of the project has been the transition from the start, where the students entered the archive feeling a little bit overwhelmed, and then during the course of the project they were the experts being consulted by the curators.
Even though this neckline is quite large, having this fastening isn't actually very functional, but it is if you have a very elaborate hairdo. And the armhole shape, the angle of this is absolutely crucial because there's hardly any seam allowance here, and the whole swing of the garment can be altered. So this is just one big piece of fabric wrapping all the way around from the front to the back. So we've got no side seam running down here, which is a really unusual feature of this dress.
The project with the students at the London College of Fashion has revealed what makes Balenciaga's design so unique. I think what we all came away with was a reverence and respect for the craftsmanship and skill in his work.